What's up, guys? I have probably the last remix team of this season that I'm going to put out here for you guys, and it probably is my best remix team. I didn't really expect it when just throwing this team together, but I've long talked about how Mandibuzz in the past would be a really good closer. I've only ever used it as a safe switch if you've been following my videos, but I really thought it could be a really good closer. So I did try and set up a team around that, and it worked magically. I made it to 3170 in just a couple of sets. That's almost 100 on the leaderboard without even really trying to push for it. So this team, honestly, first sets I played with it, I think I've started with like a 9-game win streak or something like that. But yeah, let's get into these videos. Apologies for the poor quality. I played these sets for another content creator's birthday stream, Chan, 24-hour stream. So the quality is a little bit lower for the first couple sets, but yeah, so I was a bit distracted too while playing these games, but this team honestly kind of just plays itself. It seems like I don't know. It worked way better than I thought. So the goal of this team, it's kind of like the last team I put out. It looks like an ABB team, but at the same time, it also doesn't really play like an ABB team. Ghost and Dark are very similar offensively, but defensively they're completely different. Mandibuzz is quite good versus the Dark types. Drifblim obviously can't play into any of the Dark types. But the main goal here is, if you do have a neutral lead, the main goal is to draw out that Bastiodon. Right, the Bastiodon, Registeel too, but Drifblim and Mandibuzz are both pretty good against Registeel. Anyways, so it's really just the Bastiodon you have to worry about here. In this case, I actually overfarm a little bit, which is a big mistake for me. I could have thrown that Shadow Ball. So like I said, this was my first game. I woke up at like 7 in the morning, way too early. This is my first game with this team. Not playing very well, but like I said, the team kind of just plays itself. So in this case, I'm going to no-shield my Vigoroth. Still going to get that Body Slam off, which is the only important thing for this Vigoroth to do now. And then I can get into Mandibuzz. And they actually made a really nice catch on that. But luckily for me, Mandibuzz is a pretty good matchup versus Politoed. We just need to not get blizzarded. And they're building up quite a bit. I'm going to no shield and just hope it's not a blizzard. And I get a little bit greedy with these snarls. And this time they don't finally have a weather ball. So I'm going to be able to take out this Politoed. I have quite a bit of energy, so we'll see what is in the back. It's Ninetales. So at this point, full health Shadow Ninetales versus Mandibuzz at this HP is not really a good situation. I do have a shield, so I can tank a charge move if I need to. But I've been counting moves, right? So very important to count moves. Make sure you get that fast move denial off. And I just need to be able to get to that last move. So what I'm going to do here is just make a nice little catch on my Vigoroth. This is why you save those low HP Pokemon for later, especially with a spammy Pokemon like Mandibuzz that can reset the switch timer. And we're going to be able to pull out this win despite not getting that Shadow Ball off on the Politoed, which would have made it I will say significantly easier. Oh, this next game. So this next game, this is not how you can expect most of your games to go. But we have Bastiodon lead. This is great. And they're going to swap into a Meganium. I switch at 4. I could have tried to catch, but it doesn't matter. That matchup is quite hard counter, and they're just going to leave, right? So it's likely Grasshole. So this team stomps Grasshole, Vigoroth, Drifblim, Mandibuzz. Absolutely stomps it. Munchlax lead, you love to see it, but the Wigglytuff comes in. So the main problem with the backline here is it's weak to Charm. You're seeing a lot of double Charm teams. Maybe you don't want to run it. There's not a lot of double Charm up in the Legend range, because I don't think it's actually that good. But I do need to stay in versus this Wigglytuff. The problem is I can't afford to lose Switch. So I do bail into my Drifblim. And no shield. And they actually, it was very interesting. They play rough to me instead of Ice Beam. So I'm not sure if I accidentally caught that. But I'm going to get licked down here by this Munchlax. And I have a tough decision to make. So we're going to go in with this 1 HP Vigoroth because Lick is Ghost type and does no damage. And we're just going to try and deal as much damage to this Munchlax as we can. So Mandibuzz also has a good matchup, but at this point, I'm trying to make them think that I have something in the back that's not good against Munchlax. So they'll throw their energy. So we get rid of that Body Slam, and now they have a Whiscash. So this game is still going to be pretty tough. If they land a Blizzard, I'm in some serious trouble. Doesn't KO, but it does quite a bit of damage to Mandibuzz. So I'm going to call this bait, and I'm going to call it wrong, and take a ton of damage from this Blizzard. And now this game is still winnable, but becomes a lot tougher, right? Have to be calling baits here again. A Mud Bomb's not going to KO. It doesn't do any damage to Mandibuzz. So we're going to call that Mud Bomb bait. Feeling a little bit crazy. Going to shield this Mud Bomb though, because at this point, even the lick damage is going to start adding up versus Munchlax. But I do want to save a shield just in case this Munchlax has made it or makes it to a Body Slam. We'll see how that goes though. We are going to need 2 foul plays. And at this point, they get to the Body Slam. So I'm going to shield. And at this point, I can't take a Mud Bomb either. So I need to farm up a little bit extra. So we're going to throw 3 more Snarls. Because there's no way they can get to a Body Slam at that point. I'm assuming they threw on time because I can't count licks. And then we should just be able to get right there to the next foul play versus this Whiscash. So this Mandibuzz has been at 1 HP, or has been at 20 HP for like a minute. So don't panic and just spend your shields whenever. Remember, evaluate what Pokemon you're against. If their fast move damage isn't very much, your shields are sometimes more valuable to save for it later. Shadow Abomasnow lead into Medicham. We're going to go right into Drifblim. This matchup is actually kind of sketchy. It really depends on what they want to do. So you can take an Ice Punch, no problem. I'm going to throw the Shadow Ball. A lot of Medis have been actually... I should have farmed up a little bit more. Especially because they can farm me down with Abomasnow. But a lot of Medis have been shielding. So that's kind of why I did that. And they're forced to throw their energy at Drifblim, which is great. Because they don't want to spend a shield. But that's fine with me. I let them get to the Weather Ball. I'm not throwing my move because I don't want to wait down the switch timer, right? I want to keep that going while I'm locked in a good matchup. And in comes Jellicent. And I'm just really hoping there's no Ice Beam here. So I'm throwing my foul play right away. I'm not really waiting for anything. I want to get this out just in case there is a Bubble Beam. So we're going to no shield. And they do have Ice Beam. So this is a bit rough. Because at this point, with the 2 shield advantage, I don't think Mandibuzz can actually beat Jellicent here. And I get a little bit greedy. So yeah, this is the story of this set. Getting greedy and having to outplay my way out of it. So Jellicent versus Vigoroth in the no shield. Obviously this isn't that great. But luckily they switch into Abomasnow. And allow me to just take care of him really quick. And then we're just going to throw with good timing. So I throw 4 counters into this Bulldoze. And it's going to take 2 Bulldozes. Well, that's debatable. A Body Slam might KO from this range. But I think I'm feeling pretty safe. Ice Beam doesn't take me out. I have a little bit more wiggle room here because the Jellicent is running Hex. If it was running Bubble, I would have lost this game for sure. And we're going to be able to take it out. So yeah, I was in a pretty good position. I just really needed to throw my move. I was getting a little bit too cute. But yeah, I left this in this time. I got a shiny Pikachu Libre. I was extremely happy with this. Sorry if this is wasting maybe 30 seconds of your time getting this catch. I don't know. This is probably the rarest thing that has ever happened to me in Pokemon Go. And I just really wanted to share it with you guys. You guys have, like everyone watching, you guys have just been awesome to me. Like I wouldn't be making content if nobody was willing to watch it, and just the comments and everything that you guys provide just so helpful and just make a bad day just turn all the way around. So I figured I'd share that accomplishment with you guys. Appreciate it. But yeah, let's get into the next game. We have a Wigglytuff lead. This is where you want to see it, right? Drifblim awful versus Wigglytuff. Mandibuzz also awful versus Wigglytuff. So we're just gonna have to go for some slams. And they're actually going to switch out, which is good for me. So Sableye is a Pokemon. It's actually the one dark Pokemon, really. Sableye and Mandibuzz. The 2 dark Pokemon that exist in Remix Cup. And that's the big worry with the Drifblim swap in. Because if you swap in Drifblim and they come with Sableye, they get a pretty big farm. Whereas Mandibuzz deals with it really well. So if you can stay in a bit longer with Vigoroth and force them to swap out of the lead, then you get a pretty good matchup. And we're going to get right to that Aerial Ace. It's a pretty big deal, being able to force a shield from this Wigglytuff, because they have energy for move. There's no way they're not going to shield there. My Vigoroth is also out of move, I think. But instead of trusting myself, I don't throw that move right away. I would have been able to force another shield. But instead, it's fine. I get to keep these Body Slams for this fire type that's coming, probably Ninetales. And we're going to switch right out. I do think I have a Body Slam, or at least am very close to one for this Wigglytuff. Yeah, and we're just going to... like, that's not even really a bait. We're just Icy Winding, because Icy Wind is enough to take down the Ninetales, and it's going to prevent them from dealing too much damage. So we're going to shield just in case that's an overheat. That's our loss condition, if they overheat us. So Weather Ball, doesn't matter. But yeah, shielding the first one there. I am actually trying to get a little bit lower here. Right? I don't want to get farmed down by this Wigglytuff and have it have a move. And we're just going to throw this Body Slam we have stored and win the game. But yeah, a little bit risky. I was playing very risky. I was just trying to have fun. And sometimes the risky plays, they work out. And when the risky plays work out, they look great. So we have a couple of great looking sets here. So Mandibuzz lead. Vigoroth actually beats Mandibuzz in the one shield. So I learned this from a Sylph tournament, using my Mandibuzz and losing to Vigoroth's. Oh, yeah, sorry about this. So Chan was moving some stuff in front of the stream. I'll try and go past that. We're just going to skip that for now. So they switched out of the Mandibuzz into Roserade, and I countered with the Drifblim. Really sorry about that, guys. I couldn't edit that out. I don't have the editing skills to do that. It was a bit of a disaster. And yeah, so I got Leaf Stormed. Leaf Storm did over 50% health to Drifblim. That's absolutely insane. So you guys got to watch out. If there's a Roserade, you got to watch out for that Leaf Storm. That thing absolutely chunks. Got a little bit greedy with Mandibuzz. I don't mind taking Weather Balls, Leaf Storms. But they're going to come in with their own Mandibuzz. And my Mandibuzz has a lot of energy. And you don't want to be using your energy on Aerial Ace. So if you can avoid it, try and get out of that matchup. So what I've done here is I've created a scenario where my Mandibuzz now has 100 energy. And it's probably going to be able to use it appropriately. So that's what you guys should be trying to do too. In this case, I'm a shield down, but I've got like 3 moves. And getting to this Body Slam is a pretty big deal too. It's either going to get a shield or deal quite a bit of damage. They're just going to let it through. I honestly think it does more damage than Aerial Ace. But we're going to come in and just spam that Aerial Ace button. If it's a Roserade, fine. If they switch, it's fine. We need Aerial Ace to take out... yeah, like they switch into this, that's fine. I actually undercharge a little bit because I'm trying to get some farm. And this Roserade is not very threatening. But now noticing that they have spent a shield, I really don't mind taking it out ASAP. I think they're trying to get a Leaf Storm off or something like that. Force a shield so that a Sludge Bomb can go through. But instead, we're just going to get to this Aerial Ace. I don't know why they Mud Bomb. There's no way they're getting to the second move. There's like 0 chance. Their win condition was for me to no shield thinking into Mud Bomb. But I make those plays too, right? Sometimes you just got to make the plays that are 100%... like... it's hard to make those plays that are like low percent win plays. But you have to make them. And sometimes they're unconventional. So we got the Metachamp swap in. This is Mr. Know-It-All, fellow Calgarian. Played a lot of Calgarians in this set, actually. So I love to see the PvP community in my city thriving. And he hits me with the Psychic. So I'm going to go for the Shadow Ball here. Because last time they didn't shield, so no way he's going to shield this time. Wrong. Shielded. And with the defense drop, it's a bit scary. So I decide that switch is actually kind of important. And guess what? It's Ice Punch. He has Ice Punch, but he Psychic me first. So he baited me first with the Psychic. Not really sure that's the play. And at this point, I'm just Icy winning because that'll... I thought it would take him out, but it didn't. So we're going to be shields down. And this is not a scenario you really want to be in. Because, yeah, so we have the Charmer come out. And the problem with Bastiodon leads with Charmers in the back with this team is that your Vigoroth needs to deal with the Charmer and it needs to deal with the Bastiodon. And without shields, it can't deal with both. So instead, we're going to have to bring our Mandibuzz into this Charmer. And you guys probably already know this, but this game is over. They have a Bastiodon in the back too. The only reason I'm staying in is out of respect to my opponent, because I know him. Not going to top left this one. Or am I? No, I'm going to let him just farm me down. Yeah, so this is the first loss with the team, actually. And this was 8 games in? 7 games in? I don't know. I was on a huge streak. We're going to see a Roserade lead. This is not great for Vigoroth. Poison resist counters. But we're going to go with Drifblim. I don't know what they plan on doing here. Throwing Weather Balls. That's fine. I'd much rather them throw energy at my Drifblim rather than save it for the Vigoroth for later. Because what I want to do is create a lopsided scenario here. I want to farm down this Registeel with Vigoroth and make a scenario so that the Roserade can't come in. So I'm at the Shadow Ball, so I shield, and I know I can force a shield myself. Actually, I could have Icy Winded. And then I'm in a similar scenario, and I'm going to shield. Because I know that if I can get a farm down with my Vigoroth on this Registeel, and they have no shields, the Roserade has no play. At the same time, if I mess this up, Roserade is going to be able to Leaf Storm the heck out of my team. But yeah, they're going to switch out right away because they know the writing's on the wall there. It's a smart play from them. But at the same time, yeah, they're just going to Weather Ball. Even though Leaf Storm is an absolute monster of a move, I'm just going to try and take out this Roserade ASAP. Leave a little bit of farm there, too. Because I think Registeel is in foul play range for Mandibuzz. So we'll see what they want to do here. Yeah, I'm not going to waste any time. I can't count lock-ons. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I've been saying I can count lock-ons. I'm just going to throw this foul play, take that Registeel out, and hope I can beat whatever's in the back. So it's a Gliscor. This is a pretty good matchup. Night Slash is resisted for Mandibuzz. Look how much damage that does. It's almost nothing. The only chance they have of winning, I think, is getting the boost. And yeah, we're just going to go into Vigoroth and that's the thing. Mandibuzz is so tanky, there's a decent chance they'll get the boost eventually before I'm able to take them out. With Vigoroth, I can deal a little bit more damage a little bit faster and take them out. Yeah, so that game was an example of a bad lead where we swapped out, got the Registeel out of there, and Mandibuzz kind of carried the rest of the way. We've got a Ninetales into Deoxys, so we have lots of options for Deoxys here. Drifblim is nice to just get out of the way, shield the first one, because they are guaranteed to have Rock Slide or Thunderbolt. And you want to stay a little bit healthy just because their lead wasn't a Pokemon that necessarily was very good against Drifblim either. So I don't mind staying at high health. It's very unlikely they have something to just farm me down. I'm going to keep building up a little bit more energy each time. And the reason I shield the first one is because also they can make Psycho Boost plays if I get low like this. And either way, you want to shield the first Psycho Boost. And they're going to come in with the Ninetales. So we just need to keep switch here. The Shadow Ball is going to hurt. We're going to come in with Vigoroth and take it out before it gets to a move. We could have also countered down. But I like having my Vigoroth with a little bit of HP here. But for what? So, a little bit of a mistake. I should have expected the Medicham in the back after the Deoxys switch. But now I'm going to come in, I think, with Drifblim and just soak up the energy. This is what I would do now. Right? Because it has a ton of energy. We can't have Mandibuzz going in there and just getting triple Ice Punch down. So we soak one Ice Punch because they're at 100 energy. So this is the reason. They're at 100 energy. They have to throw versus Drifblim. They can't just farm up and abuse Drifblim. They have to throw right away. So my Drifblim was dry. So at that point, it's a great opportunity for me to bring it in. And now I'll be able to farm down this Medicham if they stay in. Although I think it is unlikely. Yeah, and they bring in Deoxys trying to get to another move, but it's going to be no dice here. As Mandibuzz is just going to be able to take out Deoxys. And then Snarl down Medicham. We're going to be able to win this one as well. This technically was more of like a hard counter team. But I should have realized something was up when they switched out of a neutral matchup, right? Then you know it's ABB. You can kind of predict the back line. But I didn't get that in the moment. So another 4 wins with this team. Next game against Kakaroto. One of the best Japanese players in the world. One of the best players in the world. I don't know why I need to put Japanese there. And we have the... So this is what I'm talking about. Sableye switching. So this is honestly probably the worst possible scenario. A Deoxys lead into a Sableye switch in. I do get a shield, which gives me some play in this game. But at the same time, a very healthy Sableye can really pressure Mandibuzz too with return. So I'm gonna either take heavy damage, which I decided I need to play this game unconventionally if I want to try and win it, because I'm so hard countered. I need to try and farm down this Sableye, and I don't quite get there. I'm gonna have to shield another return, because this hits harder than pretty much anything Deoxys can do, even if it's super effective to Mandibuzz. And yeah, this is just a loss here at this point. Because this is vigor. It's just hard counter, and then not hard counter, but the momentum is built up enough that I don't think this game is possible to win. Figured I might as well try, but I'm not gonna hold my breath on this one. Yeah, as they still have a shield remaining, they 1 CMP versus my Mandibuzz, which everything's kind of going wrong at this point. And they have an Altaria, so not sure why I haven't left this game yet. But very interesting team from Kakaroto. I do think Altaria does have a lot of play, especially in Remix. There's no G-Fisk, no Azu. Super nice. Next game, we're going to take a look at an Alolan Ninetales lead. Regardless, you have to stay in. It's one of those, it's nice because it's one of these teams where you don't have to check their move, right? Because if it's Ice, you can't switch because you double Flyer in the back. And if it's Charm, you can't switch because you have Dark type in the back. So regardless, you're staying in. Vigoroth is your Alolan Ninetales counter. It's not technically a counter because you don't really beat it very hard, but you can deal with it. And Drifblim is not too bad either if it's the Charm version. So Jellicent comes in and we're going to switch out right away, and they're going to go right into Sableye. So it's double Ghost. This is Mandibuzz is drooling right now. There's saliva all over the ground. But is it going to be enough? We have 1 shield, and I'm going to bring in my Vigoroth against Sableye to soak up some of the energy. Vigoroth is definitely better into Sableye than into Jellicent. So good thing we did that. I'm going to throw this Foul Play and just hope that they don't have Ice Beam, right? So we're going to no-shield this. That was awfully fast for an Ice Beam, right? Nope, Bubble Beam. So what they're doing is smart. I no longer have another Pokemon to clear the debuff. And this is something that I should have thought about before sacrificing my Vigoroth. Is that with all these debuffs adding up, I'm not going to be able to take the Sableye down with just 1 Foul Play. So I'm going to really need to abuse this Jellicent and get an absolute ton of farm versus the Sableye. They still have a shield. I'm going to need 3 Foul Plays, but it looks like I'm going to be able to get there, so they save some time. And GG out. Next game against Chumpaletta. We have a Sunny Castform, and we'll see if they want to switch. They don't, so it's looking like it's not really an ABB team. Yeah, and they're shielding too, so it makes me think, hey, something is up here. While they're shielding Body Slam, we're going to switch right away, preserve this Vigoroth for later. And by right away, I mean not right away at all. But Drifblim comes in, and they're not switching right away either. So I'm not sure what the heck they have in the back. They just want to keep their Sunny Castform going. And they're double shielding it against my Drifblim and my Vigoroth. So I have no idea what it could possibly be. We're going to keep 2 shields though. And just take out this Sunny Castform. I'm going to hide our back line for now. So Cresselia comes out. This is pretty decent matchup for Mandibuzz. Moonblast hurts, but at the same time I have 2 shields. So the 2 shield versus 0 versus Cresselia is fantastic for Mandibuzz. They're not switching out, which means they've got something even worse in the back, I think. Yeah, we'll find out. But this time I take a Moonblast. You know, if it's like a Regirock or something, like there are moves that hit harder than that. But in hindsight, this was not a very good play. because this Scrafty is just not even going to throw a move. It's just going to go straight Power Up Punch and try and take Mandibuzz down. So we're going to have to play very smart here. Get to that Aerial Ace. We're going to have to shield this Power Up Punch because otherwise it's going to KO. So that's why you don't shield the first Power Up Punch, right? Because the second one hits harder. Well, all subsequent Power Up Punches hit harder. And then we're going to switch into our Vigoroth. We're going to overtap by accident. I was trying to throw the move, but I overtapped and take out this Scrafty before they can react. And get to this Body Slam before Crest can take down Vig. So very big plays from this Vigoroth here. 1 HP in a Dream. I guess IVs do matter a little bit there. But if I hadn't overtapped, it would have been a much cleaner win too. My problem was overtapping and almost losing. Next game versus Flower Slayer, we have the Incognito Ninetales into Politoed. And we get a little bit of lag there. So I don't really know the count at this point. And we just have to hope it's not Blizzard. It's a Blizzard. Yeah. So that's bad. It probably would have been worth it to shield, but I've been playing very shield light with this team. Kind of not really shielding more until the very end. And because generally I'm able to draw out the Charmers with Drifblim. So that's really the main worry there, is if there's a Charmer in the back. And we're going to get to this foul play too. So very big deal. But this Ninetales has a ton of energy. Ton of energy. So we have to go back in with Vigoroth. Shield the first one because we could be an overheat. This guy likes to throw their moves. And in comes Jellicent. And this is over as long as they're running Shadow Ball. So we're going to see. We're no shields. Or we're going to shield. It's Ice Beam. Actually, it's true. It doesn't even matter if it's Shadow Ball or Ice Beam. They've got one of the moves. And we got the bait off, which is very important. Because this is our win condition, is to outpace them. But it's just not looking like it's going to matter here. Yeah, they do have the Shadow Ball. They're just flexing. Yeah, this Ninetales also still has a Weather Ball stored. And after this Ice Beam, I think it's just going to be able to switch in and snipe my Vigoroth. Actually, maybe not. That Ice Beam didn't do very much damage, but still, this is likely going to be enough. Yeah, and my win condition was being able to farm down this Ninetales, which I cannot. So well played by my opponent. We're going to lose a game here. In this next game, we have a Registeel lead, so this is great. Into Sableye, which is also great. Sableye lead's a bit tough. I think you have to stay in. I don't think we have one of those in this video, but you kind of have to stay in with Vigoroth. Vigoroth can win the one shield if you land Bulldoze, so just try and land the Bulldoze. If not, get it low, and then you can farm it down with Mandibuzz afterwards. Yeah, it will take out that Sableye. I did spend a shield on the return. I mean, it is what it is. Registeel's not that good against Mandibuzz, so I don't mind spending that shield, so it has to use another Flash Cannon to take out Mandibuzz. Because shielding a return or a Flash Cannon here makes no difference to me. And shielding the return allows a more comfortable win over the Sableye, whereas if they land the return, they can kind of start trying to play the bait game and beat you. So it's just more consistent. Yeah, they get there just in time, but this is a pretty good farm range for Vigoroth. So they switch out, and it's Shadow Dragonite. What the heck? We're gonna have to shield the first one because we're gonna get the debuff off. And always shields. If you're a debuffer, always shield the first one. Should be able to get the second debuff off versus or before the next Dragon Claw because I was able to sneak a Hex through. And I'd be able to get to this third Icy Wind against the Shadow Dragonite. Shadow Dragonite is actually, this isn't Spice really. It's honestly really good in Remix. And we're gonna get to the Bulldoze versus Registeel, and we should be able to counter down this Dragonite before it gets to Dragon Claw. I'm not sure, actually no we won't, but how much does a Dragon Claw really do? Very smart play by my opponent, switching out to quickly Icy Wind debuffs, but it's not gonna quite be enough. Vigoroth is, or Shadow Dragonite is too squishy, I guess. This isn't on Vigoroth dealing too much damage. I did have to take out a game though. Channel Point Redemption, I was playing a game of Grass Hole. So yeah, we're at 3-1-3-4 now. So I had to take out a game of this this last set here. We have a Shadow Mawile lead. This is a bit scary. We're just gonna go straight Body Slam. But at the same time, we're gonna, I think I just no shield here. It doesn't matter if they take me out. I'm gonna be able to get a good farm down on likely Drifblim here. That's quite a bit of energy for Drifblim. Drifblim with an energy advantage is kind of scary. And they have a Charmer. So this is very scary too, right? Vigoroth is supposed to be what takes out the Charmers, but luckily they let the Shadow Ball through. I'm gonna shield this Weather Ball. And we're going to be able to get this Icy Wind off. And this Icy Wind will KO. They don't shield it, which they do. But either way, it debuffs, which gives Mandibuzz a fighting chance. But luckily, they just Blind Switch. So because they Blind Switch, I'm going to be able to set myself up in a situation where I can get enough energy to take down this Mandibuzz. And it looks like this Medicham might not be running Ice Punch. It's just power up punching Mandibuzz. Sure, it does a lot of damage, but you can only win this in the 2 shield, I think. We'll see if we get a shield. No, I don't think we're gonna get a shield. But the goal here is to snarl all the way down. Once again, we have to Diamond Hands this in no shield and barely take down this Medicham. So the play here, we have to hope they don't get a Charm through. And mission accomplished, no Charm through. And we're able to get that second move off. Foul play first, Aerial Ace second. That was just a misclick. We should have Aerial Ace both times. And take down this Alolan Ninetales. So we let Vigoroth go down the lead. They had a Charmer in the back, and we still managed to win. Yeah. So back to the higher quality games. Sorry, just trying to shift the screen down a little bit so you can see more of what's happening. We have a Haunter that I've switched this Mandibuzz into, and luckily it is running. This was a big mistake. I knew as I was playing this team it was going to be a mistake. If they switch in their Shadow Ball Haunter, or sorry, Gengar, they likely have another one in the back with Sludge Bomb, which is much worse for my Vigoroth. So in hindsight, it might have even been smart to stay in, but I wasn't thinking that fast. This Registeel is going to try and lock on down Mandibuzz, but Mandibuzz is very tanky, and it's going to be able to get to quite a few charge moves. Not quite enough to take everything down, but at the same time I have to make it a tough decision. Normally bring Vigoroth in, and I will do so here, but they actually bait me with the Flash Cannon and come in with the Meganium. So because they hard switch, and this wasn't the Haunter I thought they were going to be playing. Because they hard switched, I was able to hard counter them yet again. If they did switch out of that lead, it would have been much tougher. So this game we have a Mew lead. And this is another Pokemon you can't really switch out of. It's very tough at least, because the Shadow Claws deal so much damage to Drifblim. Wild Charge, you have to respect on Drifblim and Mandibuzz. So I've been staying in. They always bait first. Not this time. So luckily I CMP tied them on the Wild Charge. I was very happy if they got the Wild Charge through, because I knew that I would be able to either take them out or deal heavy damage. This one's just a Surf, but I have to shield it to stay alive. In comes Jellicent with Bubble, which is a much better version versus this team, and it's Bubble Beam Jellicent though, so it's not too big of a deal. We're gonna have to play this carefully, because while we win this matchup very easily, I want to abuse this Jellicent. You know what? If you're going to run Bubble Beam, I'm going to punish you for running Bubble Beam. And I want to end this matchup with as close to 100 energy as possible. So we're going to undercharge a little bit and just get this farm going. They're going to be able to switch out soon-ish, so I have to be careful about that. But if they switch out, then they free my Mandibuzz to unload this energy undebuffed later. And the play here usually is, once you have max energy, is to switch out into your safe swap, not into the Vigoroth. button tier safe swap here. And they're going to come with Registeel. We're just going to throw Shadow Balls and probably not shield anything at this point. So remember, Mandibuzz has an absolute ton of energy. They have a Mew and a Registeel. This is looking like a pretty solid win here. They switched to the Mew. I don't think they're trying to catch. I think they're trying to farm down. But they're not going to quite get there. Icy Wind is just too quick to get to. And we have... Not only do we have this Vigoroth, but we have a Mandibuzz with 100 energy. So this game is essentially over. I throw the Body Slam. I don't know why. I was at the Bulldoze there. I was watching their HP, not my energy. So a little bit of a mistake, but you know what? It is what it is. That game is won as well. And I believe this is the last game of the set, and therefore this video. We have a Charizard lead. Pretty spicy. I don't think Charizard is a good Pokemon, and it's running Aerial Ace. So this makes me want to think it's like, sorry, not Aerial Ace, Air Slash. It's not even Wing Attack. So it makes me want to think this is like some sort of, like, what do you call it? Auto-Rect team? They go straight for the Blast Burn. So I'm able to farm up a little bit more. I don't know the counts for Aerial Ace. Air Slash. I don't even really know how much energy it gives. So we're in a bit of trouble. Medicham comes in, and I'm going to switch. I do have a shield disadvantage here, so it is a bit tricky. Especially because 2 Ice Punches might be able to take me out. I go for the Icy Wind. They have 2 shields remaining. They shield. This means I'm going to be able to get to this next Shadow Ball just after they were going to get to their Ice Punch. They decide to bank it and switch to their Pelipper. So these Pokemon, very good against Vigoroth. I really have to think about shielding here. It honestly probably could have been the correct play. But my Vigoroth does have a little bit of energy, and I know I'm going to be able to get to that Body Slam before they're able to Weather Ball me out of existence. But yeah, they're counting so well. They knew exactly how many counters I had in my Vigoroth. So they got to take advantage of that as much as they could. We're going to no-shield the first one always, right? Power Up Punch. And we'll see if they bait again. Nope, the Ice Punch, but that's a boosted Ice Punch. That doesn't do very much damage at all. And we're going to be able to take this game. So it wasn't an auto-rec team. It was just legitimately a Charizard user. But I think that maybe they didn't TM their Charizard to the right thing. So we're going to climb up to 3170 with this team. I don't think the leaderboard updated on that day, so I don't know if I actually got to see how high 3170 would have been. But it's decently high up there, especially for a team that I had just picked up as well. So, but yeah, sometimes a team just comes together and it just works. So very happy to share this team with you guys. I know there's only a couple days left in Remix, but maybe it can help you reach that milestone you need to reach in the next couple of days. But yeah, I'll put my socials in the description. As always, guys, thanks for watching.